Cruise news. One cruise line is launching deals to be aware of as summer comes to an end. Also, some cruisers are shocked regarding a new cruise opportunity that has appeared that they believe is fake, but some reputable sources believe it is legit. I'm going to get you the details so you can be cautious not to get scammed. I've got all of that and a lot more cruise news that you need to know, and I'm going to get it to you fast coming up. Welcome to the Travel Scouts. My name is Jason. We are your cruise news and information channel. Let's go ahead and jump into today's cruise news. Number 1, Viking Cruises has taken delivery of their new ship called the 𝗲𝗄𝗃. The 𝗲𝗃 will be used for cruises in Egypt on the Nile River. This is a popular specialty for the cruise line. Viking will now have 5 ships operating in Egypt. They each sell a 12-day itinerary that is called Pharaohs and Pyramids. During the 12 days, they offer 11 guided tours that are included in the cruise fare. Prices start at $6,000 per person. And then for our cruising friends in Canada or those that still have an upcoming Alaska cruise based in Vancouver, you need to be aware that number 2, the pilots from Air Canada have voted to authorize a strike. The pilots approved the strike authorization with 98% of the pilots in favor. Air Canada is one of the primary airlines in Canada. Now that was probably obvious from the airline's name, so what's next? Well, labor talks are going to continue, but it is very important to know that with this vote, a strike could happen as early as mid-September. So a few very fast recommendations in regards to your flight to or from your cruise embarkation port. Number 1, I would avoid booking Air Canada until this is resolved. And number 2, if you have already booked a fly with Air Canada to or from your cruise, I would recommend that you find travel insurance to protect your trip. Moving on to number 3, Port Canaveral was planning to build a new cruise terminal, but those plans have been set aside. Port Canaveral supports both the cruise industry and the space industry. And Port Canaveral announced back in May that they would be building a new cruise terminal and parking garage. However, earlier this month, the Florida Department of Commerce Secretary threatened to withhold future funding if they move forward with those plans. The concern was that it would obstruct future space industry expansion. So the port CEO announced that they will shelf their existing plan and they will go back to the drawing board to find new options. Next, number 4, Holland America has announced a big Labor Day deal as summer is coming to an end. The deal includes a variety of sailings with $25 deposits, 40% off cruise fares, free prepaid gratuities, or free fares for a 3rd and 4th guest. So looking at it, I found quite a few options where you could book for just over $100 per person per day, and right now, that's not too bad. Now do know that this Labor Day deal is active now and it ends on September 3rd. You will find that the available sailings for this deal include voyages that depart in the fall of this year all the way through the spring of next year. Then number 5, a lot of discussion is going on regarding what should be done with cruise gratuities. This was specifically brought to light in regards to Carnival Cruise Line after some questions and interaction with cruise line brand ambassador John 𝗿𝗃. Now, John made it very clear that there are currently no plans to change up how they are doing gratuities. But he had some very interesting polls and I would love to share those results with you. The first question was whether Carnival should continue to allow passengers to remove gratuities even if there is no fully justified reason. Over 18,000 people responded and 69% of them said yes, change the policy, do not allow people to remove them without a fully justified reason. The next question was whether cruisers would like the cruise lines to include the gratuities in the cost of the cruise. This is something that is already done in Australia. With this question, over 15,000 people responded, and 86% of them said yes, change it up and fix gratuities into the cruise price. Okay, I've got several cruise news pieces remaining, including the top headlines of the day, but now it is time for our fast mid-show check-in. In the last video, I asked if you have ever been on a holiday cruise. I received input from nearly 5,000 of you. And here are the results. A little more than 1/3, 35% said yes, you have been on a holiday cruise. Meanwhile, the vast majority, 65% said that you have not. Thanks for your input and all of the great comments. Now let's jump into today's question. Thinking of crew gratuities and how they are done and whether or not they should be changed, here is my question. When you think of your favorite cruise line, does the crew gratuity policy need to be changed in some way? Chime in down below with A for yes, or B for no, and I would love to know any thoughts that you have on this as well, but now, on with the cruise news. Number 6, the CDC has released their cruise ship inspection results for the month of July. As you can see on the screen right now, all did well and some did very well. Cruise ships are required to receive an 86 or above in order to pass. Next, number 7, Norwegian Cruise Line has now opened bookings for 10 ships for the spring and summer of 2026. These include more than 225 new voyages, and they feature 150 unique ports of call. And I am about to show you a graphic with the 10 ships that have had their bookings opened. Recently, cruise lines have been highlighting that they frequently have the best prices available when new bookings open. Then as cabins begin to get filled up, the prices go up. It is just a function of supply and demand. So with that in mind, here are the ships that just had their spring-summer 2026 sailings opened. There are 3 ships available to book for Northern Europe itineraries, 5 for the Mediterranean and Greek islands, 1 for the Western Caribbean, Canada, and New England, and 1 for the South Pacific, Alaska, and Hawaii. Then number 8, some cruisers are shocked as they believe a new cruise line that has appeared on the internet may be a scam. The name of the new company we think is 𝗥𝗏𝗏 Cruises. It is yet another startup company that is offering a 3-year world cruise. And it may be real, but it looks a little sketchy. One issue is the name. The ship graphic says 𝗥𝗏𝗏 Cruises. Their website address is 𝗥𝗏𝗏 Cruising, and the verbiage on the actual website says 𝗥𝗏𝗏 Cruisers. The website has a lot more issues too. It is extremely basic. The entire thing could be replicated fairly quickly. And also, do you remember 𝗏𝗏𝗃 Cruises? That was another startup 3-year world cruise company. It never got a ship and it never launched. In fact, it filed for bankruptcy just last month. Cruisers who were booked on 𝗏𝗏𝗃 have requested an investigation into that company. They say that $16 million of their funds was used to pay for a ship that was never purchased. And guess who the CEO and COO for 𝗥𝗏𝗏 Cruises is? Both were leaders with 𝗏𝗏𝗃. 𝗥𝗏𝗏 Cruises is supposed to launch in April of next year. But they still have a problem. They don't have a ship, so it sounds troubling. Now, their business is being shared by some reputable sources as though it is legit. But it is understandable why some cruisers would think that it is fake. So you need to be aware, and I would love to know, what do you think? Would you entrust your money with this company? Okay, subscribe and turn the notification bell on to stay up to date with the latest cruise news and information. The next video, it'll be coming out soon, but until then, keep on cruising and we'll catch you in the next video.